A controversy has erupted and has divided the people as to who this Jesus of Nazareth and who is this Jesus of Nazareth, and is he in fact the Christ which is to come as prophesied by the prophets? But first, let me give you a quick overview of the events of this past week concerning Jesus and his disciple. Last Sunday, Jesus arrived on a donkey in Jerusalem, and the people praised him, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna the Son of David. Now this was prophesied by the prophets. Then Jesus, furious the next day to find that the temple of God has been turned into a den of thieves, overthrew the tables and made well known that he does not approve of making a marketplace in the temple which is to worship God. Then we found Jesus teaching in parables to all ages and about the importance of doing the Father's will, and other parables which were geared towards those who do not do the Father's will. Now the scribes and Pharisees that have been watching him were also there when Jesus warned the people of the ways of these scribes and Pharisees, saying that they are as blind guides and may appear righteous on the outside, but inside they are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. And as Jesus is also well aware that they are seeking to seize him, he and his disciple moved on to the Mount of Olives, and Jesus tells them about the signs of the end times, and that he must depart, but will come again. But always be ready, because no man knows the day nor the hour of his return. Then Jesus and his disciple went to Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, where Jesus was anointed with the precious oils by a woman. And Jesus told everyone that she did this to anoint his body for his burial. Meanwhile, my sources tell me that Judas, one of the 12 followers of Jesus, went to Caiaphas, the high priest at the temple, and as the scribes and Pharisees desired to trap Jesus, Judas agreed that he would give them Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. This too was prophesied if Jesus is in fact the Christ. So on the first day of the feast of the Passover, Jesus and his disciple went in a large upper room in the city, and there Jesus broke the bread and passed the cup, saying, "This is my body and my blood that will be shed for the remission of sins." Now this is quite revealing, because this is more times than I can count that he speaks of his death, as he seems to know beforehand what will happen to him. After this, they went to the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus went to pray this prayer: "Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done." And on the third time that he had prayed this prayer, Judas showed up with the soldiers and kissed Jesus on the cheek for a sign to the soldiers to take him. And they took Jesus as though he was a thief, which is also written in the prophecies. Jesus was taken before the assembly of Caiaphas and the chief priests to be questioned, and they finally asked him, "Are you or are you not the Son of God?" Jesus said, "I am." So they accused him of blasphemy, and they all condemned him to be guilty of death. Now Caiaphas and the chief priests, having the authority to condemn a man to put to death, but not having the authority to put him to death, turned Jesus over to Pontius Pilate to charge him with the law of the land. And so this is where this true story stands. Let us witness live here today how we'll conclude these crucial events, how we'll